You're listening to Welcome to Eloma, a podcast for highly ambitious dreamers who get shit done. I'm your host, Kiley Peters. This is a space where we talk about crossing borders and establishing a global culture. Now, I love travel. That's one of the reasons I always knew I wanted to keep my business virtual. However, doing business or operating in another country is definitely a new space for me. And I'm really curious about it because we've seen so many companies embracing remote work. And I think that we'll probably start to see more international employment opportunities pop up as well. And so I think that's going to create a whole bunch of new challenges for owners to figure out how to navigate that, which is exactly why we're diving into it with today's guest. Today's guest, Ari, please don't kill me for trying to say your name, but today's guest is Ari Krzyzek. She can say it the right way in just a moment. She's the CEO and head of strategy at Chykalophia. Chykalophia is headquartered in Chicago, but they have expanded their team globally, and we're going to get into that. Ari and her team are focused on helping Femtech, D2C, women-led brands transform their websites into platforms that unlock business opportunities. She has her hands in so many different projects in this space, as well as the Chicago creative community. I'm super pumped to hear about all the things she's been working on. We met a couple of years ago at Women Tech Founders in Chicago. Ari never ceases to impress me. So let's get into it. Welcome to Eloma, Ari.
Hi, Kiley. It's been a while, right? I'm so glad we got reconnected. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Women Tech Founders, that's a while ago.
It's a minute. It's been a minute. It feels like it's been a lifetime ago and also like 6 months ago at the same time.
I know. Isn't it weird?
It's very weird. It's very weird. All right. So Ari, there's a million things I want to talk to you about. So let's just go ahead and get in here. You run your creative shop and that can operate virtually, right? So all things considered, tell me a little bit about the decision to expand across multiple country barriers, country borders, into all of the different places that you've expanded into.
That's a really good question. I think the biggest discussion that I had with my husband was this. Do we want to just stay as husband and wife company, or do we want to grow? Right. Yep. And it was such a hard decision because we built a company simply because we wanted to band up together. It's like, it's just going to be you and me thing, just the two of us take over the world. But it didn't pan out that way, obviously. I feel like it was so naive, I think, because we started the company when we were in our 20s. And, I think 5 years after that, our mindset changed, right? In terms of like, how much do we really want to take on work? How do we really want to grow? And more importantly, how do we really want to sustain the business so that we can also enjoy the lifestyle that we truly want for ourselves? I think all of us here would agree. We build a business because we enjoy doing what we want to do, right? With work, supporting others, and also at the end of the day, supporting our own life and our own social need as well.
Yeah. Which I think we often forget about until it slaps you in the face. So I love that.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. And that was the moment, Kiley. And I was like, okay, it's a big decision, but how do we do it? Right. And I feel like with us really embracing, remote work, and this is probably way before pandemic, right? We know how much of a geek myself is, and my husband is such a nerd. We're like very much comfortable, like staying behind the screen, even though, sometimes, I'll see you at events as well. I'll go to events, but internet is just something that plays a big role in our life. That's also how we met originally before we got married. So there's another separate
Wait. Pause. I'm sorry. How did you and your husband meet?
Do you remember MSN Messenger?
Oh my God. Stop it. What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But that also makes me feel like you have to be like 80 years old. And I know you're not 80 years old. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man. So that took it just another level. I felt like we're just so close with all things related to internet and,
Yep.
long distance relationship and remote culture before it even, was a thing, right? And I think we truly embrace that and we really look at what kind of culture do we truly want to build if we were going to bring in more people aside, you and myself. And I was talking with my husband about it and he did, come up with a really interesting things like, do we even care where people live? And I was like, that's true. Do we really care about that?
Yeah.
And I think the big thing that we also notice is that, talent, finding great talent, it doesn't always have to be around us, right?
Yeah. And it's so hard.
Yes. And I think that was it. That was it. And I feel like I think this could be a really cool thing if we just like build a company where we really don't care where people live, how they live, as long as they get things done, they really are passionate about what they do and they're willing to learn. Oh my gosh, that three combination would be
Yeah,
amazing.
for sure.
So that's what we ended up doing. I feel like, our very first hire, it was really hard because I was trying to figure out, do I do internship? Do I do people around here? And I've tried all of them, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't really because we couldn't pay for people in the US. I just feel like sometimes you find really hidden gem, hidden
Yes.
talent outside of the US, and
Yep.
everything just works perfectly.
Mhm.
Because when you do find these people and they are as passionate as you are, regardless of where they live, right? You want them to be part of you because these are the people who's going to be helping you grow the company.
Yeah. So okay, so you made the decision, okay, let's expand outside of the US. Let's
Mhm.
expand the team outside of the US. But how did you make the decision as to where, or did it not matter like where, and you just were looking for the right talent? Because you're in a number of different places now.
Yeah. The first thing that I look at in terms of talent was in my home country, right? I'm from, Bali, Indonesia. That's where I grew up and I was born. But really looking at, the design talent there, the creative talent there. There's amazing, people living in Indonesia who has great skills around art and, design. However, there's not many people who actually have the leadership in there yet. So
Mm,
I want to, in a way, I want to contribute in shaping some of these, people who are really excited about digital design, all things web design, UI, UX, and really bring those, mentorship for them so that they can also shape more of their thinking internationally by working with us. So first thing first, I look into, talent in Indonesia and some of them actually are still in Indonesia. We have 7 people from our team living in Indonesia.
wow.
Um, and it just then, become an example for my husband. It's like, yeah, I don't really care where they actually work as long as they actually, come back to the 3 things that we mentioned about earlier. And he found his now senior developer. I can't remember from where, but he was just like, posting online. And one guy reached out to him and he has been with us for over what, 5 years. And that's just to
Wow.
really say how we ended up finding, connection just from posting somewhere randomly on the internet. I mean, like
Mhm.
you never knew, right? So it's interesting to find like whether it's based on your decision or just like, let's just toss it out there, see who will be interested. I think you could do either way, but I would say if you have specific place in mind or if you feel like you have a connection to certain countries
Mhm.
or a certain place, that might be a best place to also start looking
To
as
start.
well.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I think is a huge topic right now with, well, the last couple of years have disrupted everything,
Yeah.
but we're talking a lot about employee retention or team retention. And now, as you've expanded your team to multiple countries, how are you building that team culture? Because you're right. I so agree with you. Like, all you need, I've been saying this for years, like I need a Wi-Fi connection and a laptop and I'm like good to go, right? But there's still that like relationship part. So how are you building
Mhm.
team culture across so many vast time zones, et cetera?
Yeah, time zone. Man, I hate time zone. But
The time zones will get you.
I know, totally. You know what we ended up doing with time zone is at the end of the day, we just need to touch base with them at one particular time. And we obviously experiment with so many different time, whether it's in the afternoon our time, evening our time, morning our time. I started working at 7:30 a.m. Central Time now,
Ugh.
and then I would end, at 3:30
Oh,
p.m.
okay.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
But it was just to really show that we tried a lot of different time slots to make it work, not just for us, but also for our team member,
Yeah.
right? Because if it's like 7:30 a.m. here in Chicago, that will be 8:30 p.m. in Indonesia, especially in Bali, right?
Okay.
So I feel like I kind of have to be mindful in terms of like, do I want my team to like coming into the meeting and yawn and just like not really understanding what I'm saying, not really, capturing maybe some project brief that I'm about to share with them. I need them to be a little bit more sharp, right? I mean, I don't have to get them, right after they drink coffee, but I still want them to get engaged. I still want them to ask questions. So if there are things that maybe they have no idea about, they could just simply ask questions and we can dive into it. So I was really being open in terms of like, how can we make it work for everybody? So in terms of time zone, I think it has to be something that you're either willing to give to your team as well in order to really build that relationship. I feel like it truly shows when you are willing to work with them and helping accommodate their need as well. They respect you so much because they feel like, oh man, my boss is willing to negotiate things with me. That really shows, confidence from them knowing that, hey, I can trust my boss. I can really feel not just connected in a way, but also feel appreciated, right? I think a lot of time we feel like I want my need to be met as well. Can we do something, that maybe we can find things in the middle that will benefit both of us. So
For sure.
There's that. But I feel like, depending on who you work with and where these people are, time zone's gonna be a bitch. Sorry, man. I don't really swear, but hey, that just came out.
It is. We've worked with people overseas too, and on certain projects, and it's like, okay, well, I got to get up at 6 a.m. because this website's launching and so-and-so is going to bed. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, that's fun. Let's not do this every day. Yeah.
But you will figure it out though.
Yeah. Well, and Ari, you brought up such a good point too about you talked about building that trust and that appreciation, which is so important in building, well, any kind of relationship, but especially in building a small business and expanding across borders. So what are some other things that you guys are doing to build those relationships, build that trust, and start to, just kind of get to know each other?
Yeah. You know what's challenging the most for me around, building team in so many different countries? I mean, we got people from India, Serbia, Philippines, as well as Indonesia, and also me and my husband here in the US, right? So that's like 5 different countries that you kind of have to cover.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different cultures among all of these different, countries. And there's also different times for holidays. So imagine like who's going out at what time. That was super hard to, work around in the first, I would say, couple of years. But then we figure out, hey, each country has their own Independence Day. Each country has their own, religion or culture or belief system that they, truly believe in. And they want to participate in these because it tied very closely to their family, right?
Yep.
So for us, when we really look at our own lifestyle, where we truly just want, okay, I just want to, not work on certain Labor Day or, Independence Day or whatnot we have here in the US. I want to be off of work. I don't want to do work. So we give, our team member, I think basically about 10 days throughout the year. They can choose whatever that 10 days is. or R. And they just let us know, like out of these all 10 days, it could be, in Independence Day, or it could be major holiday in their countries and stuff like that. So they get to pick and choose. I think
That's
it was
awesome.
really helpful for us to really just like give that flexibility to them. And they feel like they finally have a place where not only they can work everywhere and anywhere in the globe,
Yeah.
right? They could have the flexibility they need whenever they need to participate in any other thing, and doesn't have to just follow, US calendar. So it's based on their life.
That's huge. That's really big. And I'm so glad that you brought that up because I think, that's such a, I don't want to say low hanging fruit, but like so fundamental. Because, yes, in the States we have our holidays, but you guys are operating in so many countries. And so to respect their cultures independently as well, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense that would be a huge thing for building trust and building that relationship.
Yeah. On top of that, the one thing that I would also say, my husband loved to do story time during our team meeting.
Okay.
So we would just like talk about random things that happen in our life. And in a way, our, weekly meeting doesn't really get too rigid or too structured, because
Okay.
we ended up just talking about, hey, what has happened in your life in this past week. I mean, we just don't want to be, in your eyes, just our, you know, the leadership or
Yeah.
the boss or whatnot, the manager. Let's break that boundaries a little bit. Like once a week, I think it would be really nice to hear like, what are you currently up to? Like
Mhm.
what has been, maybe you're doing one new personal skill that was completely random, but yet it was exciting. Share that to everyone. So I think
Yeah.
in a way it was really fulfilling, because even though we're not able to get together in one room, right? We were just like in this different screens with everybody's random background
Right.
pictures, and we feel connected through the stories. So that was really exciting to just like hear every Friday. It was like, oh, what's up with this person, or what's up with the team, or what's up with this
Yeah.
team who are in one location. And sometimes they would actually go hang out with one another, especially
Oh
those
my
on my
gosh.
team. And they were just like, hey, let's meet up. And they would say like, yeah, I'm going to hang out with so and so from this team over the weekend. It's just so fun to see that they're building their
That's
own
amazing.
connection. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I bet that's like being a mama bear and being like, "Oh, my babies are playing so nice together."
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, that's so awesome. I mean, what I'm hearing you say is like, don't forget that your team members are whole people
Yes.
and that it's a huge that really matters. So to all of the owners listening, like in case you forgot, don't forget that your team members are whole humans and they just need to talk about things too. And I love that. I love that you bring up storytelling too, because um, I always come back to like when we talk about people coming together from different cultures, I always believe that we are so much more similar than we are different. And
Hmm.
I love that you bring that up of like, we're just telling stories and everybody's connecting and
Yeah.
building those relationships, which is how we build relationships, right?
Yes.
So,
Oh, Kylie, this brings me into a really, fun experience recently. As you know,
okay.
you probably saw me on Facebook that I went to Bali
Yep.
recently, right? So a lot of my team are in Bali. I think about five of them, live in Bali. We ended up doing a team building activities. Now we never seen these people before
Oh
at
my
all
gosh.
after like in the past, almost 7 years, right? We never seen them.
Wow.
And it was just so fun to just like have everybody in the room, go for dinner together, and even like, try ATV together. So that was a
Oh
really fun
my gosh.
experience to build that relationship, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. Are you guys how often are you hoping to get back over to Bali moving forward?
Probably once every 2 years. And we're
Okay.
also hoping to maybe, hop on different countries as well to see where our team members, at. Maybe one day in the future we could go to Serbia, or one day we could go to India and Philippines. We'll see.
That'd be awesome. So, as you guys have decided to expand your team to help create a more sustainable structure for you guys, what's your dream here? Like, what's a perfect world scenario for you guys?
Wow, that's a good question. Ooh.
Pressure. No pressure.
I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute, but I've always wanted to really move back to Bali, but
Yeah.
I don't think we're in a position to do that just yet. Although I have seen, other people in my network and other women business owners just like take the plunge, just like go to different
Just
country and
go.
just like
Yeah.
start there. I was like, I'm not ready there yet, but I'm hoping I'll be able to do that maybe in the next 5 years. We'll see about that.
Okay.
Obviously, I would still love to keep our headquarters here in Chicago, but still, enjoying the time where I could also build up new connections and businesses in the Southeast Asia. That's
Yeah.
my hope, to be honest with you. So, yeah, both USA as well as Southeast Asia would be the two places that I truly want to develop our business.
That's awesome. I love it. What advice would you give to anyone who's thinking about expanding in a similar fashion?
Okay. The first tip, honestly, just be open, right?
Okay.
Just be open in terms of like time zone wise. Don't worry about schedule yet. It's like, don't worry about how I'm going to make it work with my time zone. Just don't. Just find the right person first, right?
Okay.
Regardless of where they live, Africa, US, UK, or maybe even in Singapore, right?
Yep.
Find who is this people. I feel like you need to understand like what help you need first, and then
Yes.
what criteria of this person should be. Is it more about in terms of like their skill set? Is it more on execution, or is it more on a strategy, ownership, management, whatever? Right.
Hmm.
Find that person first.
Okay.
I think you'll know when you find it and you realize this person's going to help me so much in my business. This person's going to contribute so much into the growth of my company. And you will figure it out together with them because you never know. Hey, maybe they actually do enjoy working, night shift.
Yeah.
You never
Maybe.
know. Right.
So
So,
start with a
yeah,
person.
start with the person because you're going to be hanging out a lot with this person. Right. And I think
Yeah.
it's only fair to really be as interested to this person as much as they would be interested in working with you.
That's fair. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Um, so Ari, switching notes just a little bit. You and I share a lot of similar goals and values, especially when it comes to supporting women. Tell me a little bit about now, in full transparency to everyone listening, I just learned how to say Ari's company name. So we're going to just keep practicing this. Tell me a little bit about why Chykalophia has decided to focus on websites and women led brands, because that's totally my jam. And when we reconnected a couple months ago, you had told me like all kinds of really fun stories. And so tell me a little bit about why you've decided to kind of carve out this niche for yourself.
So, growing in Bali, right? As much as I love the island, I love the beauty of the island, the culture, people, things like that. I did not really get enough resources to
Okay.
grow as a female entrepreneur in Bali, right? When I decided to, become a freelance designer and things like it, all I see are expat doing it, right? And I feel like I want to see people like me. I want to see, more resources that lean towards supporting women in their, current struggles, trying to figure out what do I need to do for my business? What do I need to do for, understanding, building, you know, new opportunities for myself or even business. I didn't have any of those. So when my husband asked me, where do you want to live? Or is it in Bali or in the US? I thought about it a lot, even though I, hate to leave my family and my
Yeah,
friends,
of
right?
course.
It was really hard, but I believe that US would have a lot of resources for me that I
Okay.
needed in order to grow. So I decided it's like, let's just leave the island and potentially come back in the future. And I did.
Hmm.
So when I got here, I was truly surprised in the support of, female entrepreneurs in Chicagoland area. And you know this to be true because
Hmm.
you were in it too,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So and you witnessed this firsthand in terms of women just want to help each other. And I
Yeah.
truly felt that. I did not know what I was doing when I was building my, company
Let's
11
be honest,
years
none of us
ago.
do.
Exactly. And,
We're all
to
still
be
figuring
honest,
it out.
yes to that. Um, to be honest, I was really intimidated because I was coming from third world country, and the way I see, white women, right? I'm not trying to be mean or whatnot here,
Yeah.
but the way we see white women is just so superior than ourselves in Bali. So when I
Okay.
would go to different events and see these people, I feel like I don't feel like I belong here. I
Oh,
just feel like, I wonder if people would accept me, all those different, crazy talk in my head. I
sure.
needed somebody to tell me, hey, welcome. How can I help you? And that's exactly what I got. And I was tremendously grateful for all the women entrepreneurs that had helped me along the way. And I think from that particular engagement with these different mentors or, people that I met, the women tech founders and everything, it accumulated into its own support group for me.
Hmm.
And it just then, for some odd reason, also become the most type of people that we ended up working together with. And I truly, truly enjoy that.
So you like ended up attracting those
Yeah.
people as clients.
Yes. And to be honest with you, it was weird because because it's where I'm going to tell you. It was weird simply because for some reason, whenever I talk to them, we just seem to click. But when my husband would talk to them, my husband would say, Arya have no idea how to talk to women. It's like,
Oh my
that's
God.
okay, honey.
That's well
I will
said.
figure it out for you. So it was just so, how do I say this? Like so aligned, right?
Yeah.
And it just become what we do. And I feel like that's when we truly realize working with women is the best project for us, simply because we finally get, the chance to help them translate their vision,
Hmm.
and everything just, works smoothly. I don't know why. And I'm telling you, it's weird, but hey, it
You
is.
found your thing though. I mean, I believe like
Yes.
everything happens for a reason. And if it feels that good, then like you're definitely
Hmm.
on to something. And if it's not
Yes,
broke, don't fix it, right? Like you love the work you're doing and you're
I
doing it
agree.
in alignment with your values and mission vision. That's
I
awesome.
agree. And I think it's also, part of me use this as a way to give back to other women as well, right? I mean, a
Yep.
lot of these women have been really guiding me in terms of my business, in my vision, and all those different things for my, personal and business development. I feel like I would like to do the same to
Hmm.
other women as well so that we can also help them move their business forward.
I love that. And that's something that I have, I hem and haw about this because we've grown up and we've heard about women being so competitive, right?
Mhm.
And there's all the stories and there's all the stats and there's all the things, right? But I feel like, at least it's been my experience, and sounds like it's also been yours, especially over like the last 5, 6, 7 years. All I hear from women, especially business owners, are that they want to help other women. Like
Mhm.
all of the clients that I'm taking on are all just wanting to help other women with their businesses. And it's
I
like
agree.
the dream. It's like just building this army of women that just want to help other women. And it's like, this is so amazing.
Hey, I completely agree with you on that. But I would also, say there's always going to be bad apples, right?
Yes.
There's always going to be like that. And I feel like a lot of us might feel discouraged from just one experience with bad apples.
Yeah.
I would encourage don't stop, because you
Yes.
will be amazed, in 100 or even like maybe 1,000 more other women who would do the opposite and support you.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you called that out because yeah, I don't understand those women. Isn't there like a quote from, I'm probably misquoting it, but I think it's Madeleine Albright who said there's a special place in hell for women who don't support other women. I think that's a quote. That's a thing. I believe that.
Yeah.
And I don't get it, but that, oh well, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
So Ari, I know you have a very busy calendar. You have your hands in so many things. Tell me a little bit else about what other things you've got going on right now.
Well, you're right. I have a lot of things on my
You do
plate, but
every time I talk to you, it's like, oh, I have 4 more things. And it's I think it's hilarious because people talk to me and they're like, Kylie, oh my gosh, I can't even keep up with you. And then I'm like, have you met Ari? Like, she's got 12 more things than I have going on. And it's always like a new thing. And I love it. So anyway, tell me what's going on.
sure. Okay, so I'm also doing podcasts. So I co-host podcasts with another agency owner. Her name is Pick. We're both in the femtech space, and we really highlight, women who are in the femtech, meaning female health and wellness technology, whether they're founders, investors, and enthusiasts in the industry. We'll just trying to really close the gap in the health technology for women specifically, because now there's so many different innovations for our own bodies, our own health, specifically made for women. So that's exciting. And then the other thing too that I finally now be able to share to a lot of people, my husband and I are currently wrapping up our book. So our marketing book is coming out this fall. Really going to focus on getting it launched in October. So I'm honestly very pumped about that. We just finished
Tell us a bit about the book.
Testing. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So the book is going to be all things related to how to make your website convert better, right? Because I think,
oh my gosh, amazing.
A lot of the people that we talked to in the past, they would just say, yeah, I have my website, but I don't know what to do with it. And I have my website, but I don't know, like why people are leaving my website and there's no conversion. How can I make better conversion?
Yeah.
There's just so many questions around those. And we come up with, a really different process in terms of how we take on new website project for clients. And the big thing that I would say is missing is that a lot of the businesses that we talk to, they don't really have one goal that they want to get out of the website. So that's the big issue, right? So this website book is going to be your main guide to really just understand what it is that you need to do even before building a website, right? Because you have to have a clear strategy in order to make it work. Let the website work for you, not the other way around.
I love this. I can't wait. You have to keep us posted as to when it comes out and launch, etc.
I have a gift.
Okay.
Can I share?
Yes.
Okay. For your audience, Kylie, for this podcast, for Iloma listeners, if you're listening to this, I'm giving away 5 free copies, right? Just for you guys, ladies. So reach out to me after you listen to this podcast and we'll get you a copy.
Amazing. Thank you, Ari. Yeah. Thank you. And we will make sure to tell everybody else about your book because that's so amazing. I mean, we've worked in the same space for a long time. Getting your website to convert is like one of the lowest hanging fruit, but yet difficult and challenging things that we all need to be doing. So this is amazing. Congratulations. And I'm sure this has been in the works for a while because that doesn't happen overnight. So this is exciting. Congrats.
Thank you.
Can you share the title?
Yes. Hang on. Let me pull it up because I know
I'm sure there's been like 12,000 versions of it.
Oh my God. Yes. Talking about the title, to be honest with you, it took us a while to finally decide on titles because we all know the right messaging would get the most conversion, right? Yeah. Same thing with your book title. So we ended up doing a ABCD test actually via Facebook ad and finally decide on the winner through that particular data. So that was very helpful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, the title of the book is Made to Sell.
Made to Sell.
Creating websites that convert. Yeah.
Okay. Made to Sell. Keep your eyes and ears open, ladies and gents. That's amazing. Congratulations, Ari. That's so exciting. So you do have your hands in all these different things. You're expanding globally. You're about to launch a book. You're just killing it. Tell me, Ari, what are your keys to success here?
Oh, man.
Yeah. How do you do it? How do you do it?
That's a good question. Oh, my goodness. People ask me that all the time. And to be honest with you, I would say I owe it a lot to a few things. one, my team, right? I wouldn't be able to do all these different things without the help of my team. I feel like having them, take a lot of stuff off of my plate was very helpful. It allows me to really focus on the things I wanted to do in order to help the growth of the business. Second of all, my husband, he's always like pushing me to do weird things, to be honest with you, in a good way, right? In a business related way. So he would just like, oh, you need to write a book, you need to do this, you need to do that. Oh my goodness, there's a lot here. But I think without him challenging me to do so many crazy things for the business, I wouldn't be where I am today, right? And I feel like in a way I needed that. I needed
Yeah.
some of the craziness in my life so that I feel challenged about it. I thrive, I think, in that particular situation because it kind of pushed me to the edge so that I can start thinking, what can I do to accomplish X or to solve this? So it really is truly helpful. And I would say the last thing would be automation. So all things
Oh my gosh,
automation. I
yes.
cannot.
Automation. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I would spend so many, hours and
Oh yeah.
time doing a lot of different things, like repeated things and stuff like that, right? And I just like, you know what? We have tech, we have
Technology.
technology, we have internet. Let's automate
Let's
things,
do
and that was
that.
super helpful.
I love it. I love it. Okay. On a maybe like personal note, if you're willing, I'm just curious, Ari, what is a guilty pleasure you may have?
Ooh, I love watching Korean drama, by the way. So Korean
You
drama,
Korean
animes.
drama?
Oh
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
do
Oh,
you?
okay. Uh, I haven't seen it myself, not yet. But
Okay, I'll challenge you to watch from Netflix.
okay. All right. So what's your favorite show?
Ooh, there's this one called My Love from the Star. It's really, really good.
My Law from the Star?
My Love from the
My
Star.
Love from the Star. Okay. My Love from the Star. And it's on Netflix?
Oh, that one is not on Netflix. So
Oh,
you
that
have
one's
to
not on
find
Netflix.
it on another platform.
My Love from the Star. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. All right. Wow, words. Ari, two last questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
What impact do you want to make on the world, or what legacy do you want to leave?
Man, Kylie, questions.
Coming in hot.
Oh, to be honest with you, I just want to see, more opportunities for women, right? And I know all of us here in the US probably already seen a lot more opportunities for women.
Mhm.
But, in other countries, especially, smaller villages in Bali or any other third world countries,
Yeah.
it's not much, right? And I feel like I want to hopefully in the future be able to help creating those opportunities for them. In fact, we actually start supporting a nonprofit organization in Bali so that we can help
Oh,
them
cool.
fund and give scholarship for girls who wanted to, gain better living through different opportunities in tourism, right? So that's one way for us to just slowly supporting that particular,
Yeah.
I guess, like initiative.
Mhm.
And perhaps in the future, I'll be able to connect with slightly bigger organization to create bigger impact. But I feel like right now, through mentorship, through just like sharing my story, that, hey, if you have a vision, take that opportunity, right? Find ways to gain the resources you need. Because believe me, in the age of technology that we have right now and the resources that are pretty much everywhere,
Mhm.
it's literally on your fingertips. All you
Yeah.
have to do is just step into the unknown.
Step into the
Yes.
all you have to do is step into the unknown.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that.
It's scary, but hey, boy, if you tried it
Yep.
and it works, you'll just be amazed at what you were able to do.
Yeah. Okay, so following up on that one then, my last question for you, Ari, is what is your greatest insight or discovery about life and entrepreneurship?
Whew.
That's my last one for you. So, you get
Yeah.
to take a break after this.
Yes. Oh, thank you. You know what? It's honestly about asking, right? There is no right or wrong in asking a question. I feel like a lot of time we got held up, right, for asking a question and afraid that somebody's going to say no to us.
Mm.
We're so afraid in that, 2 alphabets, N and O. It's just a word, but it prevents us to ask a lot of things, asking for either referrals or asking for funding or asking for any other opportunities. All you have to do is ask. And the worst that they can do is to say no. And that is okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. Step into the unknown and all you have to do is ask. Wise words from Ari K.
Ari Krzyzek.
Yeah, you guys, that's such a hard name. Yes. Mic drop, Ari. That was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your joy and your light with us. If anybody wants to find you, what is the best way to get in touch?
I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, so you can find me on LinkedIn or on our website, cklph.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ari. And for anyone listening, if you enjoyed today's podcast, please go ahead and leave us a review wherever you're listening. Ari, you're the best. Thank you so much. This was so fun. And I can't wait to see what magic you make happen next.
Thank you, Kiley.
To continue learning how to better build your business and make your vision a reality, subscribe to the Welcome to Eloma email list at welcometoeloma.com.